This is the Ritchie Elementary School in Tucson, Arizona. Inside, a bilingual class of second and third graders begin a lesson on geometry.
We're going to continue working with geometry.
Their teacher is Marco Ramirez.
A 5 by 5 square piece of construction paper. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is to follow my directions and fold the way I fold it, okay? First you're going to get your 5 by 5 piece of paper and fold it in half, okay? And then pinch it. Okay. Once you folded it in half, what shape do I have?
Rectangle.
A rectangle, okay? So we know that we have a rectangle if we fold it in half. Next I'm going to ask you to open it up like this with a line going up and down, okay? And then we're going to do an airplane fold. And that's getting one corner and folding it down to where the middle line is, okay? Just like this. Okay? And then the other side too. Fold it down to where the middle line is. Next thing you do is you turn it upside down, and you do the exact same thing. Do another airplane fold. So you're going to end up with a shape that looks something like this. Now you're going to open it up. Now if you look, you're going to have these lines right here, and this is called a crease, okay? And this is where you can fold your shapes. Okay, your square. And you can fold it down this way too. You can fold it in half. And what we're going to do is try to make as many different shapes as you possibly can, but we have one rule. And that rule is that you can only fold where there's a crease. For instance, I can fold it right here and make my rectangle, the one we found, but I can't fold it this way because, look, there's no line right there. Okay, you would be making a new line or a new crease. So we're going to go to our tables, and your partners, we're going to keep working with partners, the ones that you already have. Draw the shapes that you make, and once you've made them, as many shapes as you can, then you can come back to the rug. Does anybody have any questions? No. ¿Tienen preguntas? Que van a hacer todo lo que puedan, todas las figuras que puedan, usando nomás donde doblaron. No lo pueden doblar otra vez así porque no hay una línea ahí. Nomás lo doblan donde está la línea. The activity at the tables entail recording, which is essential because it helps keep track of their thinking and helps them to verbalize, to communicate in writing what they are thinking at any given point or at any given time. And also helps the teacher to go around and see that they are thinking and to explore a little bit further. Okay, what shape is that?
Triangle.
A triangle? Okay, and is that what you drew here?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you see if you can write the name down right there too, so we don't forget. What shape are you trying to draw right here?
Diamond.
Well, what happens if you turn it around a little bit more? Just lay it flat and just turn it just a little bit. A little. Okay, and what shape is that?
Square.
Okay, so it's square, and then you turned it a little bit more, and what did you get? A diamond. Is it more of a square, or is it more of a diamond?
Square.
A square. So what would you call that shape?
Square.
A square? Okay, why don't you go ahead and write that down on your paper so we don't forget what you're calling it. Just try it. Just do your best. See, Katrina, what do you have there? Yeah. Okay, so you made a rectangle, and you got a diamond there too, didn't you?
A diamond, and a triangle.
And a triangle. That's good. All right, okay. You guys had an idea that you were talking about earlier. What were you calling the shapes?
Five-agon.
A five-agon. Why did you call it a five-agon?
Because it has 5 sides.
They had 5 sides. And what did you call this one? A sixagon. Or a what?
Hexagon.
Why did you call that a hexagon?
Because it has 6 sides. Hex and 6 ones.
And do you know another shape that you can tell me that has 6 sides too? You remember that, Pablo?
What?
Which one do we call a hexagon when we're working with pattern blocks? What shapes do we have with our pattern blocks? What
The
shape is
green
it?
one is the square. And the triangle.
The triangle, okay. And then what's that yellow one?
Hexagon.
A hexagon, that's the one. And how many sides does that one have?
6.
And how about this one? 6.
Pon lápices porque es una forma.
The role of the partners is to help out, to communicate with each other, let them know where they are in their particular thinking process at that moment.
5.
That's 5. Let's see, let's count them. Show me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, now I want you to count the sides on this one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, is this a side right here?
Yeah.
It is a side? What do you know about sides?
If you connect them to another one, it looks like 1.
Yeah, so is this a side though? If it's in the middle like this, is this a side?
It's a corner.
Well, show me a corner.
Oh, this is
That's a corner, okay? Now unfold that one. Okay? Just the way you had it right now, like this. Now I want to see what you're talking about with the sides. Do the sides again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. So you still think this is a side. Why do you think this is a side?
Because it goes through like that. You look at that's a side. It goes like that. And this is a side.
Well, let's see. Look at your hand. And where's the side of your hand? Okay. Is this the side of your hand? I mean,
That's the palm.
that's the palm. Okay, so if you're looking at this, like right here, is this a side?
No, this is.
That
Yeah,
is
but
so-
it's a side to this one. 'Cause
it's
it goes.
it's a side to this one.
And that one because it's on the outside.
But okay. But if they're connected like this, are these sides?
No, yes, they're 2 corners.
Okay, so how many sides do you think this has?
6.
Okay, show me 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, so now you think that this is a side to this triangle and also a side to this triangle. Okay. Let me see. What about this shape right here? What shape is this, first of all?
This one
The whole shape.
is square.
It's a square. What do you know, without looking at this, what do you know about a square? Well, how many sides does a square have?
4.
4 sides, okay? Now you're saying that a square has 4 sides. Count the sides.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4. Why didn't you count these sides? You said that these are sides. Why didn't you count these?
Because you said, because these are sides right here.
Okay. Now let's go back to the one that you just had. How many sides does this have?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4. Because you didn't count this one. So do you think this is a side now? If you're looking at the square, how many sides does the square have?
No, I think that's a fold.
That's a fold. Oh, so there is a difference. This is a fold, but the rest of these are sides. Okay, so you're going to count a fold as a side right now? Yeah, I think you're right there. I think you've got it.
Mr. Ramirez now calls the entire class back to the board.
We gathered them together so that we can share the individual's thinking in a group process so that everybody can learn from it. I chose specifically students who had the basic shapes that everybody knew, the square and the rectangle. What about the square? I chose those first so that I can start building on the simpler shapes. It gave them access to the more difficult shapes. 4. How about this middle? Is this a side? No. No. Gabriel, what do you call that?
It's a fold.
Do we have another shape that we can put up here? Let's see. Nicole? And what's this shape called?
Triangle.
A triangle? Show it to the class. Okay, do you agree it's a triangle?
Yep.
Okay, we'll put this up and we'll call it a triangle. And how many sides does a triangle have? Three. Is this a side?
Yes.
Okay. How about this one?
Yes.
And this one?
Yes.
So that has three sides. Is there another shape that's not up here that somebody has? Adam. See, and Peter? Oh, Peter, you're his partner? Okay. And which one is it? This one, okay.
We just called it a Z with two heads.
You called it a Z with two heads. Wow, that's a good name. And let me see. I'm curious about where the Z was and where the two heads were so that the class can see what you're seeing.
The Z
The
is right
Z is right there.
Okay, let me put it on the board.
The Z's right here, and then these are the two heads.
Oh, the Z's right here. And these are the two heads.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, thank you. Is there anyone else that had a name for this, that they called it something a little bit different?
Hexagon?
What did you call it?
Hexagon?
You call it a hexagon. Why did you call it a hexagon?
Because it had 6 sides.
Because it has 6 sides. Well, let's take a look at that first. Is this a side?
Yes.
How about this one?
Yes.
And this side?
Yes.
This one?
Yes.
This one?
Yes.
And this one? And what you called it a hexagon because it has 6 sides. Gathering the students back into total group is another way to assess what the individual students have done, but it also gives the students an opportunity to assess themselves what they have done in comparison to what the other students have done, and it also gets them to think more about how that person was thinking versus how they thought, and how maybe they might adapt their strategy or maybe not. They say, I'm really comfortable with this. This really works well for me. And another student would say, like, you know, I really like their ideas. I think I might try that next time. And there has to be a next time, because that's what the assessment does. It provides the next time and the next experience for them to grow. It's not just a one-shot deal. You just learn this today and we write off, check it off on the list, and goodbye.
What strategies did Mr. Ramirez use to ensure students' understanding of the task? How are conceptual understanding and language developed in this lesson? How did Mr. Ramirez promote students' reflection on their own ideas?